This is question 4 on the higher calculator paper. So let's just read the question first. The table gives some information about the birds Paula sees in her garden one day. So the birds she sees are magpie, thrush, starling, sparrow, and here's the frequency. That's how many she saw altogether. Complete the accurate pie chart. So there's a pie chart that's been started down there. They've done one section for you, right? But I don't need to go to the pie chart just yet because I need to work out the angle, right, on the pie chart that's going to be represented by each of those. Now the first thing I need to do is to work out how many birds she saw altogether, the total frequency. Right, so this total value here. So to do that, I'm going to add up the numbers in there. Now, 15 plus 10 plus 20 plus 27 equals 72. So she saw 72 birds altogether. To write that down here, that's the total of those. But because it's a pie chart that I'm going to draw, I need to make sure that all my angles add up to 360 degrees. So I'm just going to draw a line across there to indicate that all my angles add up to 360 degrees. Now what I need to do first of all, therefore, is to work out what am I going to times 72 by to get 360. That would be my multiplier. So I'm going to go off and work out 360 divided by 72. And again, because this is a calculator paper, I could use my calculator to work that out. 360 divided by 72 equals 5. So my multiplier is 5, and how am I going to use that? Well, all the numbers in the frequency I'm going to times by 5. And again, using my calculator, I'm going to do each one of those. 15 times 5 equals 75. 10 times 5, I could do that without a calculator, that's 50. 20 times 5 is going to be 100. And 27 times 5, just to be sure, 27 times 5 is 135. And again, as a check, right, I need to do this at this stage, right, because it'll be waste time if I discover that I've made a mistake. I'm going to add up those 4 angles to make sure that it does give me 360. So 75 add 50 add 100 add 135. That does give me 360. So that's correct, and I've done my calculations correctly. What that means now is I need to go off to the pie chart, use a protractor, and put each angle in. So because I'm going to now raise the paper, I'm not going to be able to see these angles or show you the angles. So I'm going to just write them down at the side. So magpie, thrush, okay, so I've written down the angles that I worked out above, right, in the table above, and I've got my pie chart, and I'm going to use a protractor to mark in these angles along the pie chart. And one section has already been done, but I'm just going to check that out of curiosity. I'm just going to check that everything's right. This might confirm to me that I've done my calculations correctly as well. And yep, that's 75 degrees, so that's correct. The section for magpie, they've done it already, right? And they've labeled the section magpie. The section for thrush, I need to do that now. So remember, now you need to turn your protractor, put the crosshairs on the center, and line up that line, just as I've done there. And now I need to measure 50 degrees. I'm using the outside scale, starting from 0 and 50 degrees. If I put a marker just there, see that that's 50 degrees. Move the protractor. I'm just going to use the edge of the protractor to draw my line, and remember, I don't need to go outside of the circle, I just need to go to the edge of the circle, and there's my section, and that section stands for thrush, so I'm going to write that in straight away. Okay, then the next section is 100 degrees, so again, put my protractor back there, line it up exactly the same as I did before. and the angle that I need to measure is 100 degrees. So follow the outside scale, and that takes me to 100, which is over there. I'm just going to put a little marker by 100, and again I'm using the same technique that I used before. And that section there stands for Starling, so I'm going to write that in. Alright, and the last section is 135. Now I don't need to measure anything for that because that should be the rest. However, I am going to measure it just to make sure that the angle is accurate and I haven't made any mistakes so far. So I'm not going to draw anything there. I'm going to do the same as I did before, line it up, and I need to make sure that I've got it spot on as possible. And actually, yep, this is pretty good, because if I go all the way up to that line there where I would have been putting my marker, it's just about 135. Okay, so if I remove that, you can see there's the line that I was measuring the angle to. So the last section is Sparrow. Okay, one of the other things I normally do is I write the angles in the center. That's 75 degrees, that's 50 degrees, that's 100 degrees, and the last section is 135 degrees. Okay, so there's my pie chart. This is a pretty straightforward question, right? It's quite a popular type question as well. Make sure you understand it and make sure you could do it and get full marks in it.